Alright guys, Equinox 83 here again. In the last video we kind of went on that scavenger hunt and talked about those posters that we see both in the practice arena and in the customization room, and how they relate to the game. Your auto grab, your break, your boosters, your emoticon, or your emote. Sorry, I showed my age, I guess. And that orb that's surrounding the disc there, and how that relates to your auto grab. In this one, we're going to talk about physics. So there is, what up? Oh, we also teach you how to detach from players and mute the lobby and stuff like that. So in this one, the physics of this game are unique. So once I'm in motion, I'm going to continue moving at that speed unless I'm impeded by something else, right? That's just a law of physics, right? A body in motion stays in motion unless ... I'm not Isaac Newton, but you get the memo. So if I start pushing off and I'm going at 4 meters a second, unassisted, I'm going to continue to go that 4 meters a second unless I bounce into something, at which point I start slowing down. What that means is that if I push off and use my boosters, my wrist, right, not my back, that serves no function unless I'm changing direction. I'm going to continue going at 4 meters a second, and I can use my boosters to turn, but there is no point to go and use your wrists. You're going to continue to go at the same speed. That's what your back booster is for. Get your 4 and hit your back booster, and that will get you up to 5. And then from there, you're going to continue to move at 5 unless you start maneuvering. So what I mean is, try to make it a habit to move and hit your booster 2 times. Get up to 5 as quick as you can. But now, if I start using my wrist rockets to move around, that went from 5 to 2.8 meters a second because I went backwards. So the angle of my wrists slowed me down a little bit. Okay, so keep that in mind. And when possible, use both of your wrists to move and maneuver yourself. Pay no attention to the invisible guy. That's just a glitch. It won't be here by the time this video comes out. What's up, platypus? Okay, another thing about physics is we talked about our auto grab, right? So hold it down, loser, and you can just snap onto an object. But what if you wanted to slap off of an object? Now that will shoot you off, and right now I'm going 4 meters a second by slapping and pushing off of objects, using my wrists to kind of guide me to where I want to be next. So how do you do that? And it's a critical skill to learn because it's going to be the quickest way you can change directions once you're out there. So using your auto grab, we'll do it on the bottom of this little thing since you can see it. There's a haptic response that happens on your touch controller, again for Oculus. I'm not sure about the Vive, but I'm almost positive there's going to be some sort of vibration that happens once you grab onto this. It's very subtle, and there's also an audio cue. You can hear once you've grabbed it. If I don't grab, I don't cue up. I don't get that audio cue or the haptic response. Once you feel and or hear that, you then push yourself off while you let go of the auto grab. Okay, so in real time, it looks like this. And you're now pushing yourself off of an object. Slow it down, it looks like this. Okay, so I'm moving towards the object, auto grab on, I grab, I push away, and then I let my auto grab go. Now, depending on which way I push, that's the direction I'm going to be going in. You can change your direction at the drop of a hat, basically. You can just change around as much as you want. And Don't forget to look so you don't bash into stuff, excuse me. Okay, so that's slapping off of objects. You can get speed boosters, so if I'm only going, let's see, 1.7 meters a second, and I slap off that object, I'm now back to 4 meters a second. So you can get some small speed boosts by pushing off of stationary objects. Once we get into a little bit more advanced stuff, in a few videos past this, we will talk about pushing off of moving objects to acquire some of that momentum. And that's how, if we just push, boost, boost, we can get beyond that 5 meters per second limit. Okay? So the last bit of physics that is important to know is with this disc. If we can get the disc. Hopefully we can, so I can show you. Let me reorient myself. My tracking's going crazy. Okay. So with the disc, if I have this disc, my personal momentum will will be imparted onto the disc itself, right? So let me come down on this side where I have a clear shot. If I come down here and I throw the disc this way while I'm pushing downward, okay, you'll notice that some of that momentum will make the disc carry in a downward pattern, right? Watch. And you see how the disc was thrown from up here, but ended up contacting this island right around here. So you should infer two things from that. One, that your momentum will transfer to that disc. And two, that if you're using that and you're shooting on goal, try to be stationary as you do it. Because if you are coming up this way and you're trying to juke a goalie, and so you move to the right and you throw the disc right in the center of the goal, it could curve. That momentum could transfer to the disc, and you could either ding it or just miss the goal entirely, or have a heart attack because it managed to squeak in right here and ding and go right in. So your momentum does carry over to the disc, and that's part of that physics that I was talking about that really only exists in the game. So yeah, if we're at close range, you may not notice it, especially if you throw hard. But just kind of lobbing it in there from up here on the orange, you're gonna have some problems. Throwing it like that, there's no way that disc normally should have went down that way, but it did. So that's physics. I would really recommend you guys practicing your slapping off of objects. That is up there with auto grab, with braking correctly and at the right time in terms of critical skill for success in this game. If I'm down here and I want to, if I have the disc, I don't actually, you know what? I'm not going to teach floor juking. That is, so if I'm floating through and I'm trying to get away from someone or keep it away from someone, slapping off at an object is a great way to maintain your speed and change direction at the same time. All right. So, to recap, you can slap off of objects that lets you change your direction real quick while maintaining that 4 meters a second. If you slap off your object and hit your booster, that jumps you up to 5 meters per second. That 1 meter per second is significant when we get into the game. So slap, boost, boost, and we're at 5 meters a second. Also, just simply pushing off of an object and then pushing off of an object and pushing off of an object is going to be the best way to travel around the arena until we talk about regrabs and boosts. But we're not going to do that. This is for newcomers. So yeah, keep that all in mind. And then your momentum will carry over to the disc. See how that? Wow, going straight down there. Now, you're a professional. I don't know what else to tell you. You're a pro player. Go and get into the VRCL, the Challenger League. Win that $200,000 because you know everything about the game. Yeah, I didn't think you bought that. The next thing we're going to do is actually jump into the arena. We're going to show you the full size of that thing. In these consoles that were developed by Atlas Intelligent Systems Limited, you have private matchmaking available to you, so your friends can party up. If they're your Oculus friends, you can find them here. This little icon right there will show you which of your friends, Herky Mold is floating around behind me, which of your friends is online. You can invite them into a party, and then their name will appear here. Once they're in your party, this second icon will show you everyone who's inside of your party, and then that just shows you everyone who's currently in the lobby. So from here you can take your party members and make them blue team, make them orange team. You can both party up if you want to just practice, whatever the case may be, and then hit start and you're off. You can find a match, and that will take you into a public match with randos. Don't ask about how the matchmaking works, it's magic. Or you can click spectate match. That spectate match is a super powerful tool for a lower level, because sometimes you'll get to see an all level 50 3-on-3 match and how that works, and how they utilize the arena and their passing and their call outs and just the speed of the game. So yeah. Which menu? Are you talking to me? I thought I was unmuted for a second. So that's it. We're going to jump into the arena next, and we're going to talk about launching, the anatomy of the launch lobby, and just kind of generally roles on launching. You know, first person, second person, third person. All right, guys. Again, I am Equinox83. You can find me there on Oculus or discord.echo.games. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.